then we'll sit up nice and tall. And as you sit up tall, make sure you pull your belly button in to flatten out through your lower back. We don't want to arch our back. We want this to feel comfortable through our lower back. So sitting up tall, relax your shoulders away from your ears, close your eyes. And just notice the sounds around you. If you're outside, do you hear birds chirping? Do you hear cars driving by? If you're inside, do you hear your family making noise? Notice those sounds. Take a nice deep breath in. And as you exhale, send those sounds away from you. Focusing internally here, noticing your body now. We're going to start with a little breath of fire. So that means we're going to take a nice smooth inhale. Then big sharp, like a lightning bolt right in the belly here, pushes the air out. So let's take an inhale together here. Inhale. And then push the air out. Nice big push. Inhale. And your entire belly should flex. You should feel that belly pull in. Now continue this on your own. Nice big inhale. Let it out. Keep going at your own pace on that little breath of fire. A little note about your breath of fire. If you're ever feeling congested in your chest or in the back of your throat, this will help kind of clear that up, open up your breathing a little bit. And it's also going to fire up your abs and warm up your core. Two more times. And then relax, returning back to your natural breath. From here, we'll start and we'll move into some neck rolls. Let your chin drop to your chest. Bring that right ear to your right shoulder. Now, once you're here, if you notice a tinge of pain, you want to slowly support your head and move your head out. No quick jerks, no quick motions here in these neck rolls. Slowly let the head drop back. Left ear to left shoulder, again, feeling that stretch along the side. And then on around again, moving through this neck roll at a pace that is comfortable for you. If you get over to one side and it feels really good, then hang out there for a couple of breaths. It's up to you. Back around again, nice and easy and comfortable. After you've done about 3 or so, go ahead and very carefully and very gently switch directions. Left ear to left shoulder, head drops back, right ear to right shoulder, and on around again. And taking care with our very delicate neck. You might hear that little cracking and popping sound. If you do and it's not hurting, then you're doing okay. If you hear that sound and it's associated with pain, then stop doing it. All right, and we'll come right on back through the center. Inhale, let's sweep the arms on up. Bring your right hand to your left wrist. Go ahead and grab onto it. Inhale, lengthen, and exhale, pull yourself over. Big stretch here. Keep that stretch going. There we go. Keep on going here. Push your ribs away from you. Keep your hips level and continue to pull that arm over, getting a nice big side stretch here. And then inhale, let's come back through the center. Now our left hand grabs our right wrist. Inhale, lengthen one more time, and exhale, pull that right arm over, getting a nice stretch. You should feel that right here under your shoulder blade. If you find that your shoulder's making its way up to its ear, let that shoulder relax as you bend deep as you can here. But keeping your hips level, keeping your hips connected to the mat will help that little tug of war happen. And then inhale back through the center, releasing our arms. Let's go ahead and move into some shoulder rolls to the back. Big shoulder rolls. Big, exaggerated. If you'd rather put your hands onto your knees, you need a little more control of your arms, go ahead and put your hands on your knees. And let's go ahead and switch directions. And relax. Maybe wiggle from side to side a little bit if you need to here. Now that we've been moving kind of static, you can flow a little bit with those ribs. And then let's go ahead and stack our legs. If your legs do not stack, then you can stay in an easy seat. It's okay. Let's bring our left ankle on top of our right thigh, and our right ankle's underneath of our left here, our left knee, sitting up tall. Again, if your legs don't do this, then just find what's comfortable here. If your legs do this, but you're straining into your hip or this leg's hanging out up here, you can fold a blanket up, put it in there, grab a couch, pillow, whatever you have. Give yourself a little support under that left knee. And then we'll sit up tall here. And with an exhale, let's bring our hands to the floor in front of us. And with each exhale, we're going to slowly lower a little bit at a time, taking care, because this should be a pretty deep stretch for your left hip. Keep your hips locked on the ground. Do not rock them forward. So with every exhale, let go just a little bit more. And then a little bit more, going as far as you can stand it. If it begins to hurt, then don't go any further. And then eventually coming all the way around, curving through your thoracic and your cervical spine. Let your head and neck relax if you can stand it. And we'll hang out here for just a couple of breaths. And then press those palms back into the ground and gently walk yourself back to a seat. Then go ahead and grab that left leg and give it a little hug if you want to. Maybe cradle it here a little bit. Then we can release it. Now you can take 2 fingers and tuck them inside your big toe. Bring that left leg around and extend it out. Now, if that's not where your leg goes, if your leg goes here, then this is where your leg goes. It's okay. Find what works for your body. Lengthen through that leg on those inhales. Try to sit up as tall as you can. If holding onto your toes too much, you can take your hand and grab onto your foot, grab onto your calf. However your body works, follow that plan. Pushing through that heel, feeling that stretch all the way along the back of that leg. Hamstring stretches are some of my favorite. And then gently release that leg back. Shake it out a little bit if you need to. And now we're going to switch to the other side. Right ankle on top of that left thigh. Left ankle underneath that right knee, or whatever variation of this works that works for your body. Sitting up tall, let those shoulders relax. And then on an exhale, let's begin to hinge forward. You'll probably notice one side is a lot tighter than the other. Keep on going as far as you can stand it without being in pain. I can't emphasize that enough. Keep on going, eventually curving through your upper back. Let that head and neck relax. Couple of breaths here. Take a nice deep breath. If that is a nice deep stretch in that right side, when you breathe in, imagine that you can send your breath right into that hip. And as you exhale, visualize that hip relaxing and softening. And then plant those hands back into the ground and inhale, come on up. Go ahead and grab that leg, give it a little cradle here from side to side. And we'll bring it on down. And then when you're ready, 2 fingers inside that big toe, or grab your foot, or whatever is going to work for you. Inhale here, bring that leg on up, and exhale, send it off to that right side. Pushing through that heel. See if you can get your toes to dip back below your heel. That way you get a nice deep stretch on the back of that leg. But again, if you need to be here with a bent leg, that is okay. Nice big inhale, sitting up tall. Nice smooth exhale here as you let that leg lengthen. And release. Now move that leg around a little bit if you need to. Nice little windshield wiper of your legs usually feels kind of nice after that. And then we'll go ahead and bring those legs in and roll right on around into our tabletop. Getting our knees right underneath of our hips. Our legs should be hip distance apart. Our arms are coming straight out of our shoulders. Our elbow is under our shoulder. Our wrist is under our elbow. Pressing into your palms here. Make sure you're not pressing into your wrist because that will be very painful in a little bit. So really press into those palms, out through those fingers, anchoring through those hands. Spin your triceps in towards your body like you're trying to get that little midsection of your elbow to point forward. Belly button pulls in to help you flatten out through your lower back. Shoulders slide away from your ears and lift your head into neutral here. Don't let your head be floppy. You want to be strong through your shoulders and your neck here. And we'll move into some cat and cow breaths here. With an inhale, you'll let your chest sink toward the floor and then you'll pull it forward, pulling that chest forward. Shoulders slide away from the ears. You're gazing up at the ceiling for cow pose. You should feel a nice stretch all through that belly, maybe into your shoulders. As you exhale, tuck your chin into your chest and imagine that you're trying to push your heart back through your shoulder blades. Your pelvis will tilt forward a little bit here, really curving into that upper back, relaxing that head. And then inhale, sinking back into cow. Big opening of that front half of our body. And then exhale, chin tucks into the chest as we push that heart back through the shoulder blades. Into cat, and then inhaling into cow. Now take these cats and cows at your own pace. If you would like to go nice and slow, take them nice and slow. If you're feeling energetic and you want to move a little quicker, you can. If you'd like to bend through the elbows as you come through, you can. Then push into the earth as your upper back moves into cat. Taking these however you're comfortable. There's a lot of creativity in cats and cows. You can get really big and exaggerated. Think of like an ocean wave rolling away from the shore and then rolling back in. And do 3 more here, and then we'll all meet in neutral. And then once you're comfortable in your tabletop, let's go ahead and just wiggle from side to side a little bit, pushing those ribs away from us. And then come back into stillness. With your next inhale, let's flip those toes. And as you exhale, your hips slide up and back. Imagine your hips are pushing back to the corners of the room. Palms are pressing into the mat for this downward dog. So again, check in on those wrists. Make sure you're pushing into the palms and not the wrist. Triceps continue to spin in toward your ears. Head and neck relax here. Give a little nod yes or a little nod no, just making sure you're nice and relaxed through the neck. Let your shoulders slide. Imagine your shoulders are just sliding down your back here. You don't want to be pushing up into your shoulders. You want to sink through those shoulders. And then as you inhale, pull your belly button in. Imagine as if you could touch your belly button to your spine and let those hips rise up toward the ceiling. As you exhale, pressing our thighs toward the back of the room or our fence or our plants, whatever is behind us. Let those heels sink toward the mat. If your hamstrings are feeling really tight at the back of those legs feel tight, go ahead and gently pedal it out here, loosening things up a little bit at a time.
But every inhale is a lift of those hips, and every exhale, it's a sink of those heels. And again, if that's a little much for the back of those legs, go ahead and soften through the knees a little bit. Give yourself a little bend if you need it. Downward dog is about lengthening and strengthening our spine. It's not necessarily about those heels getting to the mat, so that's secondary. Don't worry about that so much. And then come into stillness for a couple of breaths. And on your inhale, let's pull our belly button and imagine you're making a little wave through your back, starting at your hips. Belly button pulls in, rolling through. Bring that right leg with, step that right leg forward. And then bend into your back leg and step that left leg forward. Bringing your feet even with each other. Legs should be about hip distance apart. Head and neck are relaxed here in this forward fold. Bend your knees if you need to. You should not be in pain on the back of the knees. If you ever feel pain on the back of your knees, you're most likely overstretching your tendons, and we don't want that. It's hard to recover from that. Go ahead and grab elbow to elbow if you like, and take some gentle sways from side to side if that feels good to you. And then back through the center, releasing those palms back to the mat, pressing our feet in. So when we rise up, we are actually pushing into that ground to help that, so the rising motion starts is in our feet. So pushing those feet in, belly button rolls in, and we slowly roll on up. Head and neck are the last thing to rise. Shoulders relax away from your body, arms are out to the side. Now close your eyes here. We're going to move into our mountain pose. With your eyes closed, see if you can notice if you're maybe leaning into one leg more than the other and balance it out. Notice if you're leaning into your toes a little more than your heels. Balance it out. Sometimes it takes rocking back and forth on your feet to find the sweet spot here. If you feel unstable with your legs coming right out of your hips, then bring out your legs a little wider if you need to. Again, make accommodations for your body that feel good for your body. There's really no right or wrong way to do this. Number one goal is just not to get hurt. All right, relax those arms, relax those shoulders. And then inhale, we'll sweep those arms on up. As we sweep our arms up, keep the shoulders out of our ears. If it's comfortable for you, you can lift through your heart, reaching up, looking up through your hands. If that's a little too much, then just stay right here in neutral. Take this first half sun salutation nice and slow. As you exhale, pull that belly button in and slowly roll on around into your forward fold. Head and neck are relaxed. Bend the knees if you need to. On your inhale, we're going to move into a half lift. So that starts again in your belly button. Pull that belly button and roll that spine nice and long. Looking out in front of you, hands can be on your shins, the floor, a chair, whatever works for you here. And exhale, forward fold. Feet are pressing into that mat, and inhale, rise to stand. Exhale those hands to your heart center. And again, inhale, arms rise up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back, looking ahead. Exhale, forward fold. Feet press into the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms on up. And exhale those hands to your heart center. All right, we're going to add on to this a little bit. Inhale. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift, flat back, looking ahead. Exhale, we're going to forward fold here. Bring our palms to the mat. We're going to do something a little different. So those of you that have been doing yoga with me for a while, I'm mixing it up on you today. As you exhale, anchor into that right leg. Inhale, bend your left leg on up. Get nice and centered on that right leg. And exhale, send that left leg back, bending into our right leg here, landing on our the ball of our left foot. Hips are squaring to the front of our mat. Now, if this is a lot for you because you've got tight hips or it's uncomfortable and your hips need to open to the side a little bit, that's okay. Take a nice big inhale here. Nice smooth exhale as you push out through that back heel. And then inhale, let's sweep the arms up into a high lunge. See if you can get that thigh, right thigh parallel to the mat. That's okay if you can't. A couple things I want you to check in on here. Your knee should be on top of your ankle or behind your ankle. If you're out over your ankle, even that out. That will lessen your risk for injury to your knee. Arms are up nice and long. On your exhale, we're going to pivot that back foot parallel to the back of your mat, or parallel-ish, whatever's comfortable for you. Arms sweep open wide, nice long through our arms here. Pushing our fingertips away from us as far as we can. Turning our gaze out over our right fingertips into warrior two. And then inhale, we're going to pivot that back foot, sweep those arms back around into a high lunge. And then from here, if you'd like to move into a little bit of a back bend, I'll walk you through it. Otherwise, you can stay right here. So inhale, lift through your heart, arms open wide like a big cactus. Belly button pulls in, your pelvis tilts forward, you lift through your heart. Opening through that whole front half of your body. Then inhale those arms up. Exhale your hands to the mat. Have an inhale here, bend into that back leg, and exhale, spring into that forward fold. Head and neck are relaxed. Let's let that left foot take on some of that weight. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Feet press into the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms on up. And exhale those hands to your heart center. You should be feeling pretty warm now. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, anchor into our left foot here. Get nice and strong and stable. And then inhale, bring that right foot on up. Exhale, send that right leg back, landing on the ball of that right foot, pushing out through that right thigh, getting parallel with that left thigh. Arms sweep up, pulling that belly button in. If you need to bend that back leg, if that feels better for you, that is a-okay by me. Slide those hips back, make sure that knee's on top of that ankle. And then exhale, we're going to pivot open into warrior two. Opening that front of our body to the side. Our arms are long, really pushing them away from us. Looking out over those front fingertips. And then inhale, pivoting back into that high lunge. And with your next inhale, lift through that heart. Send those arms back into our little back bend. And then inhale, reach up, look up. Exhale those hands to the mat. Inhale here, bend into that back leg and spring into your forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Pressing those feet into the mat. Inhale, sweep the arms on up. And exhale those hands to your heart center. Inhale the arms up. Exhale, forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, anchoring into our right leg. Inhale, left leg comes on up. Exhale, send that left leg back. We're going into that high lunge again. Nice and strong in those legs. And with an exhale, we're going to bend into that back leg and gently come into a low lunge. Now, when you come into this low lunge, be gentle on that left knee. Flex this back quad, push it toward the back of the room. That will take pressure off of your knee. If it's too much, stay in your high lunge. Or if you have some kind of cushion you can put under that knee, go for it. But you don't want to be right on top of that knee. That will hurt it. Sending our arms on up. Nice big inhale, nice smooth exhale. Right hand grabs that left wrist. And now we're going to angle out over our right knee, pulling that right arm nice and long, sinking into those hips. Check in on that front knee to ankle situation and make sure it's in the right place. And then inhale back through the center. Exhale those hands to the mat. This time we're going to lift that back toe, lift up that back leg, and as we exhale, we're going to step back into downward dog. Inhale our right leg on up. As we exhale, pull that belly button in, rounding into our back, bring that knee to our nose. Inhale that right leg up. Exhale, knee to your nose. One more time, right leg on up. Exhale that knee to our nose and step that foot all the way forward. Bend into that back leg and spring into your forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Feet press into the ground and inhale, rise on up. Exhale those hands to your heart center. Inhale and exhale. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, anchor into that left leg. Inhale, bring that right leg on up. And exhale, let's send that right leg back. Coming into our low lunge. Hips face forward, shoulders are away from the ears. And exhale, sinking all the way in here. Again, checking in on that back leg. Make sure you're flexing that right thigh and pressing it out toward the back of the room. Inhale those arms on up. Left hand grabs the right wrist. And exhale, stretch it out across that left knee. Nice big side stretch here. Inhale back through the center. Exhale those hands to the mat. Inhale, flip that back toe, lift that back leg, and exhale, step back into downward dog. Inhale your left leg on up. Exhale, knee to your nose. Inhale, left leg on up. Exhale, knee to your nose. One more time, send that left leg back, and then step it all the way through. Get light on that back foot and spring into your forward fold. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Press those feet into the mat and inhale, sweep the arms on up. And exhale your hands to your heart center. Whoo-wee. Now if you have the urge to move your hips from side to side, move them around a little bit, maybe a little figure eight. Feels good here. In one direction and then back in the other direction. I'm going to face you for this next little part here. We're going to stand up tall, toes and knees face forward, feet are hip distance apart. We're moving into chair pose here. So it's really important in chair that when you come down, that you're sending your hips back. So inhale, actually I'll face this way, I think it's better. Let's sweep the arms on up and exhale, hips hinge back into chair, pulling that belly button in, really pressing those feet into the mat. Here we're going to bring our hands onto our thighs. Get comfortable here, right? Now remember that breath from the beginning, that little breath of fire. We're going to do it here in chair. Take an inhale and let it out. Nice big inhale and let it out. One more. With your next exhale, forward fold. Woo. Inhale, half lift. Exhale, anchor into that right leg. Inhale, left leg comes on up. Exhale, send it back. And inhale, rise into your high lunge. Oops, mine's a little wobbly there. Exhale, bring your hands to your heart. Really lengthen through your heart here. Imagine a little string pulling you nice and long through your spine. Let's hinge forward and bring that left elbow outside our right knee. Turning our shoulders to the back of the room, gazing at the ceiling. Couple more breaths here. Inhale, let's come back through the center and exhale those hands to the mat. Knee comes to the ground for that low lunge. One more time. Let's plant that left hand inside of our right foot. And as we exhale, we're going to reach back. Now, if you feel okay here and you'd like to bring that foot into it, you absolutely can bend that leg, grab into that foot. That can get a little intense. It's important that your knee is safe, or you can release that leg and just work on the twist. Do what's right for your body. Release that back leg. Inhale back through the center, arms up. Exhale those hands to the mat. Inhale, flip that back toe. And this time on our exhale, we're going to step back into a plank. Belly button pulls in nice and long. And then exhale, lowering all the way to the mat. On your inhale, we'll move into upward dog. Lift our heart, roll the shoulders back, press the palms into the mat. Belly button pulls in, thighs lift off the mat. Tops of your feet press into the floor. And then roll around those toes into downward dog. Inhale, look out in front of you. As you exhale, there's a couple things you can do. You can bend your knees and jump to the front of your mat, or you can walk your feet to the front of your mat. So make your way to the front of your mat. And then inhale, half lift. Exhale, forward fold. Feet are pressing into that mat. Inhale, we're going to sweep our arms up into a chair. Exhale, our hands to our heart. And let's take a little chair twist. Left elbow outside that right knee. Hips are sliding back. Make sure you didn't twist your hips to where your knees are out of alignment with each other. Knees should be even. Inhale back to the center. And exhale, rise to stand. Chairs always make me super warm, so you might be a little bit on fire right now. Readjust your mountain if you need to. Inhale those arms on up. Exhale, we'll sink into our chair. Hands at our heart, belly button pulls in, a couple of breaths. This time we'll just breathe naturally in a way that feels good. And exhale, forward fold. Inhale into your half lift. Exhale, forward fold, pressing that left foot into the mat. Inhale, right leg comes on up. Exhale, send that right leg back into our high lunge here. Pulling that belly button in, staying nice and long. Exhale your hands to your heart center. Inhale as you lengthen and exhale. Hinge forward and bring that right elbow outside that left knee. Twisting those shoulders to the side of the room. Inhale back to the center and exhale, lowering on to that back leg into low lunge. Have a couple of breaths in your low lunge. And then if you'd like to go for that twist, bring that right hand inside that left foot. Exhale, send that left arm back, or go ahead and grab onto that right foot, twisting your body open. If it gets to be too much, just release that back leg. And sweep that arm forward. Plant that left hand outside that left foot. Inhale, flip that back toe, lift that back leg, and exhale. Step back into a plank. Inhale here, and exhale. Come on down. Inhale, lift through our hearts, lifting those thighs off the mat. We'll roll around into downward dog here. Take a nice big inhale, lifting up those hips. And with your next exhale, gently release the knees to the mat. Toes come together behind you, knees as wide as the mat if you can stand it. And exhale, slide those hips back into child's pose. Let your head and neck relax. Take a nice big inhale here and exhale. Sink into a little bit of a rest for just a moment. And with your exhale, we're going to walk our arms off the right side of our mat. Extend that left arm out as far as you can go. Let your head and neck relax here if you can. Inhale, walk those hands back to the center and exhale to the other side. And inhale back to neutral. Palms come together in front of you, and as you take an inhale, bend at the elbows. Bring your hands to the base of your neck. Walk your elbows away from you, getting nice and long through that side. exhale those hands to the mat. Plant those hands in and inhale. Walk yourself on up till you're sitting on your heels. Exhale, drop those hands off to the right side. Sweeping those legs on around. Sitting up nice and tall. Hug your knees in if you like. And we're gonna roll all the way back onto our backs here. Hugging our knees in. And with your next exhale, release your left leg out to the mat. Keep hugging that right leg here. And on your next exhale, drop that right leg over to your left side. That right hip will lift on up, but roll that right shoulder back. Extend that right arm and gaze out over those right fingertips. Nice deep breath in. Nice big exhale as that right leg gets heavy. Now, if this is a little too much for your right side, place something under your right knee to give you a little support. Otherwise, sink as deep as you can here. And with your next inhale, gently roll over onto your back. Squeeze that right leg one more time, and then exhale, release it out to your mat. Then inhale, hug your left leg in. Nice big squeeze of this leg. And when you're ready, drop that left leg over to your right side. Left hip will come on up, but roll that left shoulder back. Arms out nice and wide if you can stand it. Turning your gaze out over those left fingertips. Letting that left leg get heavy, supporting it if you need to. And with your next inhale, gently roll over onto your back. This time we're going to bring the right leg back in. Now you got some options here for our last few little movements here. You can hug those knees here and rock from side to side, which sometimes can feel really good on that lower back. You can bring your hands to your knees and move in a circle here if that feels good. Again, massaging your lower back and your glutes. Or feel free to move all the way into happy baby. Bring those legs on up, grabbing the outsides of your feet here. Rock from side to side, lengthening through your legs here. Whatever feels good to you. We're gearing up for our most challenging pose of all here. Let's go ahead and hug those knees in one last time. And then exhale, release those legs out. Now, Shavasana, or our final resting pose, is considered the most challenging because we have a hard time resting. We let things around us distract us. We think about other things we might have going on in our day. So the big challenge here is that you rest. So go ahead and release your arms out to the mat. Close your eyes here. If you're outside, I hope you can feel the sun shining on your face. If you're inside, just imagine that sun shining on your face. With your next inhale, scan your body from your feet all the way out through the top of your head. Noticing if something is really uncomfortable. If something's uncomfortable, fix that, because then that's all you're going to be thinking about while you're resting, and you don't want to do that. You want to rest your mind and your body here. So once you find yourself nice and comfortable, take a big deep breath in through your nose. Big exhale through your mouth. Big deep inhale through your nose. Imagine you could breathe all the way out through your toes. And then let all that air out. One last time, big giant inhale here. Biggest breath you can take. And then biggest exhale, let it all out. Completely let your body get heavy on that mat. As those thoughts start to invade your mind, send them away on a bubble. That bubble will pop later today, and those thoughts will come back to you. And then lay here and just rest. Stay with me here. With your next breath, slowly bring awareness into your body, beginning to move wherever it strikes you first. Maybe it's wiggling your toes and your fingers, rocking your head from side to side. And when you're ready, you can go ahead and hug those knees in nice and strong one more time. And to come on up, you can either roll over to one side and press yourself up to a nice easy seat. Personally, I like to rock myself up. And then we'll all come together one last time here. We'll bring our hands into Anjali Mudra. Anjali Mudra is a seal. We're sealing our practice here. We're going to say a couple of mantras here. So feel free to repeat out loud or repeat them in your head. I'm safe and secure. I love my body and I trust its wisdom. Namaste.